So hey guys, welcome back. I just want to start off by saying this is a highly requested video, and pretty much I have had this video pretty much recorded for months now. Not like a really, I guess that is a really long time, but I've just been really slacking off. As you guys can see, I haven't uploaded in like 2 months, something like that. So I need to stay more consistent, and I've already said this plenty of times that I need to stay more consistent. And I want to stay more consistent. It's just I'll be about to do something or something, like I'll be about to go somewhere. When I have time to do stuff, it'll be like an hour, and I'll be like, well, editing normally takes an hour, and I'll be pushed for time. So then I don't edit. That's just how it happens. And that's why it takes forever. But I'm not going to go on for too long. I'm just going to get right to the video. So hope you guys enjoy this video. Since it was highly requested, so many people have been curious. Here's a good video, and you do not need a welder or anything for this. And it has worked. Let's see here, it's been like 2 or 3 months. This is still holding up solid. So, just, the people, I don't know, people are going to be like, this doesn't seem like it would be that sturdy. It is. It's very sturdy, actually, surprisingly. Anyways, right to the video. Hope you guys like the video. So, hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and today I'm going to be showing you guys how I'm going to make my crash bar for the front of my car from a Mishimoto M-line intercooler. Pretty hyped on doing this, because, well, I haven't ordered my piping yet, so that will probably be in the same video, but when I get it, I will, this will be a full tutorial on how to make your crash bar, and, how to install the intercooler itself. Like, it wouldn't matter what intercooler it was, it's going to be similar to this, and it's pretty easy to install an intercooler, let's be honest. But this only thing that's going to make this difficult is we have to make our own custom crash bar, and most people do this with a welder, and we're going to be doing this without a welder. So that's the good thing, because not everybody has a weld machine, not everybody knows how to weld. I know how to weld, but I do not have a weld machine, so that's the tough part, and they're pretty expensive. So anyways, we'll get right into that now. And then here's the intercooler also. They look so good, and I got red couplers for it too. And this is going to be painted red too. The M will be. I've got to get the stencil for it though, and I'm going to do it on the back side. But I'm really hyped on it. So we're going to start off by removing the tabs across the top of this, and then there'll be bolts too. And then on the side, there's going to be push pins and a bolt right here on both sides. And then the bumper should come off. Not doing a very tutorial, which I just told you how to do it, but I'm assuming most of you guys know how to. So, because it's pretty simple. So the easiest way to remove these tabs that are all the way across it is basically you take a flathead and just pretend this is here. Basically just kind of wedge it up and then kind of turn it or twist it, and it'll pop right out. It's like so simple, and you probably won't break one. But if you're scared about breaking them, then just buy some. They're like I think they have them at Harbor Freight. It's like a little box that's just full of different push pins. They're not that expensive, and then it'll probably last you a really long time before you run out. Depends on how often you work on cars and how often you deal with push pins. So guys, I got it all disconnected. Well, I didn't disconnect it all because I didn't feel like taking off this whole harness that goes all the way across the bumper. I didn't really want to, so I just did it enough to lay the bumper to the side so I could get to all this. And then now I'm going to go ahead and start doing the crash bar and figure out my measurements and all the things I'm going to need to do to get this to mount up the way I want it to. To take off the stock one, you're going to want to unbolt this. I haven't figured out which one that is, but it looks like to me probably about a 10 millimeter. These are 14 millimeter. All 4 of these. You want to take these off. And right here, if you guys are curious what this is, this goes to my tow hook that I had. And I'll take that off later. But once I get the grill, I'm going to be getting the Bason grille soon. And when I get that, this is going to be gone forever. So, and then there's the other bolts on the other side. GoPro, stop recording. Those took quite a bit of force to get out. It's not bad though. You just push on it pretty rough and then it'll come out. But anyways, I'm gonna spray this with WD-40 just to get some of the rust off of them. And then I think what I just now noticed is, you know, I said you have to take off this bolt right here. And I'm thinking you're gonna have to take off this one too, because I don't know if you guys can see this, but basically it looks like it is welded to this. So I'm thinking there's a way you have to get that off, because it looks pretty much impossible to me without cutting something. But if I have to, I will look into that and see. But anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and take out that bolt and those two and see if it comes off, and if it doesn't, then I'm gonna have to figure it out somehow. But anyways, and also these hell horns, I've had this hell horn for a long time, and I already have the other one too. Well, it comes with two, the hell horns do. And anyways, they'll be mounting like right here, and you'll be able to see them through the grill when I get the grill. But it's probably about it, and I'm gonna go ahead and take those bolts out. So as you guys can see, which this is kind of messed up, but anyway, there is a bolt here and a bolt right here that you have to take out, and then there'll be another bolt after you take this plastic thing off that connects to the crash bar. So, and then I think that's all there is to it. And like I said, you got to take those out too, and then middle one, and then the obvious ones, and then I think it should come out. And then if it doesn't, then I will figure out what it is that allows it to come out. So as you guys can see, after you get the plastic piece off, there is a bolt right there, and you got to take that one off on each side. So guys, it is this plastic thing, for some reason this bolt right here would not come out. Like, I think the threads or something on the inside of it are messed up, but because this is just plastic. But anyways, right here is where the crash bar connects, and you can reach back in there as long as you get this other bolt loose. You can kind of flex this plastic a little bit to unscrew it. That's what I ended up doing, but this side came off just fine, and it was easy to get to. But now I'm gonna go ahead and start measuring for the crash bar, and go ahead and start trying to put it together a little bit. So guys, it is like 42 inches from side to side, and I just measured my bar here, and this is where I drew my line at, and this is where I'm gonna cut. And I'm gonna making sure it fits up right first before I make the cut. And then after I mount it up, I'm gonna, well, I'll show you guys what I'm gonna do first, like what the plan is. So I'm gonna take these little brackets right here. I'm probably gonna have to make new holes, but anyways, what I'm gonna do is right there, you see how that is? That's how it's gonna go, and it's gonna bolt in right here. And then on that top piece, the bar is gonna sit right here, all the way across to the other side. It's gonna sit on top of the frame rail right here, and basically go across. And this is what's gonna hold up the bar. Some of you guys may be against this. There's people that say after you get this, like after you do stuff like this, that there's a little bit more body roll and stuff, which that would make sense. But I've heard people say that, and I've also heard people say that there is no body roll difference that they notice, and it's just in your head, basically. Whoever said that it made a difference, it was just in their head, basically, because they were imagining it being there, and, you know, it wasn't really there. But anyways, I'm going to do that, and then eventually I will probably weld this, like, the bar to it, just so that it's more sturdy. But right now I'm going to go ahead and probably cut this, and making sure it lines up where I want it first before I cut it. So I've got this right here, and where I want to cut it at, which, forget this line, the edge right there is going to be for this side, because I just used the end of it to for the little thing. So I will show you guys the other side, and I drew a wrong line where I wanted, so just avoid that line, and it's right there, and I will measure exactly how much it is across and tell you guys that, whatever that is. So that is exactly 41.5 inches all the way across from there to that on the other side. And then I'm also gonna center basically where I want my holes to be for where my intercooler is gonna sit at. And I will go ahead and start doing that. And I'm probably gonna use L brackets for that, by the way, just for you guys. that are curious, I'm going to slap some L brackets on there for that, and that should be good. So I thought I'd go ahead and show you guys exactly what I did. So I got these brackets. I'm not exactly sure what these are called. The ones that you see twisting around everywhere. Not sure exactly what these are called, but I had to make holes for them. It already had pre-drilled holes, but I added holes to make it fit right. And basically I drilled a hole through my metal pipe here, and I'm pretty sure it was 40 inches or 42, somewhere in there, all the way across. And then I used the same hardware, just different lengths to go through this that goes to the intercooler, which is M8 by 125. That's what I used, but different lengths for this metal bar. And then I've already test fitted it, which you guys will see here in a second. But it basically is very, very sturdy. So I think this is gonna work very well. And basically just drilled holes all the way across, which don't pay attention to this marker right here. It was just me messing up on my measurements and stuff, and then having to realign it. And did the same thing over here. And I still got to trim off, as you guys can see, this black line. That's below that is the stuff I need to trim off, and I have that on both of them. And then I should get to the L brackets here. So the L brackets basically goes like that right there, as you guys can see. Then the bottom half right here will connect to the intercooler, or vice versa, whichever way you want to flip it. Same thing for this one, and these go on those holes right there. And I'll tell you guys an easy way to center this. Once you get these sides lined up however you want them, basically the best way to do it, so you go over to the car, and you see this little post right here, whatever you want to call it. Basically, which that bar would be, you set it, basically set it on top of this right here. And pretty much you take a tape measure and put it right on 10 inches, right for the dead center of that. And then right at the beginning of the tape measure, you mark it, and then it on 20, because the holes are 20 inches away from each other. And if you put this on 10, then that centers it. So that's the easy way to do that. Which I've got to put back on my stock crash bar and all that stuff, because I don't have my piping yet. I just wanted to make sure that my crash bar was right, and I already have it. Well, I wanted to get it built so that when I did get the piping, I could just slap everything together. And I got it built, and tomorrow I'm going to go ahead and cut these and paint all this black so that you don't see it. So as you guys can see, I have it mounted right now, and it looks like good. And I still got to cut the extra off of these, but I will do that tomorrow. That'll be in the video as well. And also right here, I have to cut some of that off. But too bad I don't have my piping yet, because like I said, I could go ahead and leave it in there, but I don't have my piping yet. So that's what it looks like. Alright, so guys, I got my L brackets here cut to go ahead and mount up my intercooler. And you guys can see here, I got my piping. I went with the CX Racing piping off the RPM store. They basically customize it for the Speed 3, so it fits way better than the other stuff. Now I have to cut these L brackets, right? I have to cut these brackets. So now I'm going to do that, and then paint these, and then after I paint these, basically everything's ready to go in the car, other than I gotta paint my red M on my intercooler. And avoid all the mess in here, it's pretty messy. And this fan should be right there, I'll move it later. As you guys see here, I got all my brackets cut, everything ready to bolt on. And then just gotta put it on the piping, and then we'll paint the intercooler right now, and then we'll do all that. We'll put on the piping, all that fanciness after I get done painting it. But I'm going to go paint it real quick, and then I'll be back putting on the piping. So I got the M sprayed on there, as you guys can see. It's kind of like almost an orange. Like, I've already sprayed it on something before just to see, but like, it's not the exact red I'm going for. It's like it's like so bright of a red that it's almost orange. So it's still probably going to look like a red once it dries and it gets darker, but still, I mean, oh well. It's going to look better than the white, in my opinion, probably. So I think it just gives a cool detail that's going to be pretty cool. So I'm cool with it. A good example would be like the red of my phone case here. That's basically the best example I could think of is what color it is. And then now I'm waiting on that to dry from paint, and then I'm going to go ahead and take off the bumper. I'm taking that off first, and then I'm going to take off Stalk intercooler, and then I'll start putting on the popping while everything's drying, and then should be good to slap it on after I do all that, and then I'll have to put on my tune, all that fancy stuff. My man's here with a TIG welder, done been stacking some dimes. Like, those are some pretty nice welds, and these are too. For you guys that don't know anything about welding, I don't know if you do, but that is like very good actually. Like, very smooth and consistent with the beads. Stacking. Very consistent. So I'm about to take off the Stalk intercooler. I've already loosened everything, and it should slide right off, and I'm going to go ahead and do that now. And then after I take it off, I'm going to take off the blow-off valve right here. And then I will transfer that over to the new pipe. It is this one right here with the flange for the blow-off valve. And then I'll probably go ahead and start sliding on the pipe, and then. So this is looking pretty good. I actually like the red now that it is dried. It's about actually the red I was wanting, and it is dry, but you can't see it on the camera. It's really bright because of the outside. You can't see the actual M, but I got the stock one off right here, as you guys can see. Now I just gotta take out the blow-off valve, and then I should be good to slide it on the new pipe. So I've ran into a problem here with this right here. The screws fit right in, but with the flange that's on the CX Racing piping here, as you guys can see, those are bigger than these. So I am gonna need a nut and a washer for this to fit right on that, which is kind of a problem. But, and the bad news is I have a hardware store in town, but they are closed on Sundays. So guys, there's gonna be a coupler that goes from 3" to 2.5. That is going to be the one that connects to your turbo. And then this pipe right here, this one, there's a shorter one that looks the same as a longer one right here. And this longer one is the one that goes down, and the shorter one connects to the turbo. And then this long thing right here is going to connect just like this. And pretty much what you're going to have to do is, this has a tight fit. I think Road Royals has his mashed up against like right here, but you really don't have to do that. You can put it like right here where I have it, and it clears pretty well. It's not mashing up against anything or any of that kind of thing. And then you're going to take one of these couplers, which I've got to figure out which one it is, if it's the full-on big turn like this one, or this one's kind of like a shorter turn. I got to figure out which one it is that goes to these. So I will figure that out now, and I will let you guys know. So I have everything tightened down other than this, what I mentioned earlier in the video. I've got to get the bolts for the bypass valve, which I have somebody that's going to get those right now, so it's good. But I basically have everything hooked up. Your short pipe is going to go right here that connects to the turbo, and then there is going to be a thing that's a 3, well, I think, no, this pipe's 2.5, so 2.5 to like 225 or 2, one of the two back there. Anyways, and then the longer one connects right here, and then there is there's a very sharp angle coupler that goes down, and then, well, at the end of this right here is the coupler, which you guys probably can't see, but anyways, this pipe goes in, and it's not the one that, it basically is the one that just makes a full curve. Other side, you got the one that kind of, it makes an angle of like kind of goes over to the side and then goes up. And then you'll have another elbow, which it's not as big of an angle of an elbow, but it's just like a slight turn, and you want to turn that upward, and then that upward connects to the pop that connects to the throttle body right here and the blow-off valve flange. And pretty much I got all that tightened up. I'm sorry I didn't really show how I was doing it, but I was kind of figuring out how everything fit as I was going, so like, I wanted to make sure I got everything right before I said, hey, I think I got it. You do this, and then all of a sudden, that's wrong. So I just gotta wait on that. And also, just FYI, if you guys are buying this piping kit for this and you plan on doing this exact same thing, then you are gonna need to get one of these with it. It's basically just a longer recirculation hose for your blow-off valve. And I don't know what why there's so many of these in here, because I didn't need all 3 of those. I'm not even going to be using them. But I got to put this on, and then of course I got to get the bolts for this. But once I get the bolts for this, I'm going to slap everything on, go ahead and put on my Stage 3 map tune, and then we should be ready to rock and roll. And just so you guys can get a view of this, it's looking sick right now. And like I said, that paint, I didn't think it was going to look good, but it literally turned out being the exact red that I wanted it to be when it fully dried. So that is like good. So, and if you guys are wanting to do the exact same thing, this is what paint I used right here. I knew it was supposed to be the color of this, but I didn't know exactly how it was going to dry. But I mean, because when I sprayed down there, I was like, I don't know about that. And I didn't know about it either when I sprayed something else with it earlier. And then now, once it dries, it looks fantastic. And I love the way it looks. So I got everything back together, as you guys can see. Looks really good. I'm excited because I'm going to get hella horns for this right here. And also, I've got to paint that other thing black. And that way it's not noticeable. And then I've got everything here. You see? Got my pipe running, and then I got my bypass valve. I had to go get bolts for the bottom of it, which this is probably going to depend on the vehicle. And if you've already changed your blow-off valve, this part will probably be different. A lot of this will be different because I have aftermarket parts. But for the most part, most of you guys are probably going to understand this. And for you guys that don't know anything, I'm sorry. But anyways, just put it back together. Everything looks so much better. I'm really happy with it. I'm ready to drive it and see how it feels. I'll be getting an etune soon, probably next week. And I'm just worried about the clutch slipping because this car does have quite a few miles on it. And if it does start slipping, then I'm going to start putting back some money for a clutch. And let's just hope it doesn't completely blow out, and then I can drive it for a while. But I'll just save up for a clutch and then probably put a clutch in it. And then should be good, and that'll last me for my big turbo, all that stuff that I eventually do. Don't know when I'll do. That'll probably be sometime next summer, maybe, that I do a big turbo. So you guys should be excited for that because it's gonna be awesome. And you know, this engine obviously has quite a few miles on it, like I just mentioned. So the fact of that being said, with it having so many miles on it, this engine obviously, abuse wise, it's not gonna last a really long time with abuse, right? So when I go big turbo, I'm probably just gonna do like, I don't think I'll ever do methanol injection. I'll probably just do E85. Then I'll do E85, and I'm probably gonna push it, really push it, with a big turbo, like really push it. I'll get all my manifolds, all that stuff. I'll probably be pushing this car super hard when I get all that. And when it blows up, then you guys should expect an engine build, and then that's when everything comes on, all the good stuff. And hopefully by then I have the funds to do all that. Right now I currently don't, but we're talking a year down the road. Year down the road, should have a decent job by then, a really good job, and then that'll be great. So hopefully I'll be able to build it then. But I think that's going to be it for this video, guys. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to stay positive. Peace out.